If you're anything like I was when I first started my business, you've probably put a lot of time and energy into the way your business looks. You've been obsessed with the fonts, with the colors, with the logos. You've been obsessed with that aesthetic and you think it is going to bring in all the clients. Unfortunately, you're wrong. Welcome back. It's Erin from Shebish.com, and today we are talking about one of the biggest mistakes I see made online every single stinking day, and it is putting so much weight on that visual branding, on that image, on creating that perfect aesthetic. We love to waste time on making sure that everything is gorgeous. And here's the thing, I get it. I totally get wanting to have a beautiful brand, but we often do it for one simple reason, because we think it's gonna make that money, honey. And the problem is that it doesn't. In this week's video, I'm gonna share with you what it takes to create a strong brand that will really attract your clients and bring in some of those dollar bills. I can't believe I just said dollar bills. It doesn't matter. It's gonna work. This is gonna work. So here's the first thing that you need to know. Your brand is not your logo. It's not your fonts. It's not your colors. It's not your photos. It's none of that. Your brand has pretty much nothing to do with all of those visual elements. All of those elements, that's your visual identity or your branding visuals, or you'll hear it called a million different things, but that is the visual part of your business. And while that's important, it is not nearly as important as your actual brand. And you can't create a strong visual brand or a strong visual identity without creating a strong brand first. And that's what this is all about. So what exactly is a brand if it's not your logo, if it's not your colors, if it's not all of that fun stuff that we like to play with in PicMonkey and Canva? What is it? Simply put, your brand is the way that you make people feel or the way you make people think when they encounter your business. In other words, what's the vibe you're putting out? How do your potential customers feel when they run into your business as a whole? Are they feeling excited? Do they feel curious? Do they feel mysterious and magical? I always wanted to create like a mysterious brand. I don't really have a reason to do that because that's definitely not in alignment with who I am. But man, wouldn't it be fun? You have to put some serious thought into what you want your audience to feel when they encounter you. And this is going to be pulled together by a few different things. People are going to get those vibes from you based off of what you say. In other words, what type of content you're putting out. They're going to be pulled in by how you deliver your content. And I'm not talking about like the form of content. I'm talking about your tone. They're going to get that vibe from you based off of where you are, what platforms are you using. And then finally, they're going to pick up your vibe based off of how you behave and how you treat people. This is so important. I cannot stress this enough. This is one of the most important things for you to remember when you are online, is that the way that you talk to others and the way that you communicate with others is going to weigh so heavily on your brand. If you put yourself out there as a very accepting, loving, joyful brand, and then you come at someone with like a lot of hate and a lot of rudeness, and you know you've seen businesses like that, people are going to see that. And those actions speak a whole lot louder than those words. So make sure that you are, self-aware when it comes to the way you put yourself out there. Because here's the thing. Your job as a business owner isn't just to make a sale. In fact, that's kind of like the bottom of the list when it comes to marketing and creating a brand. Your job and your main goal should be to create an experience for your potential client or customer. That experience is going to be what really helps draw them in and really helps close the deal. So the best way to create a strong brand is with a little bit of intention and a whole lot of foundational knowledge about your business. This means you need to dig into the nitty-gritty of your business and have a full understanding of what it actually is, who you actually are, and how you're presenting yourself in order to properly project that outwards. So what's the best way to dig into this nitty-gritty? By going through the motions and learning about your business. Let's pretend that you know nothing about your business. And look, listen, I don't care how long you've been in business. This is a great exercise to do. I love to do this quarterly, like just have a touch base with myself. So if you've been in business for like ever and you're like,
Erin, I don't want to do this.
Shh, no, you should do this. This is good for you. So let's dig into the foundation of your business. Number one, why did you start your business? You started your business for a purpose, and it was not just to make money. If you started your business to make money, That's the wrong reason to start a business. Try again. What do you hope to achieve with this business? What are you hoping to do? Why did you really want to do this? Where are you hoping to see it go? What are your core values? This is a big one because your values are something that you need to project regularly, and you need to make sure that your actions are in alignment with those values in order to build a strong brand that people can, trust. And trust is a huge part of making a sale. It's the biggest part of making a sale. It's like trust and then emotional connection, and we can talk about that later. And then finally, ask yourself, what do you want people to feel when they come across your business? Do you want them to feel accepted? Do you want them to feel loved? Do you want them to feel like they're a kid again? Just write it all down, whatever you want them to feel, because here's the thing, there's no wrong answer here. You just need to know what you want them to feel. That way you can start to take the actions to make them feel that way. See, this is all simple stuff. It's all simple. It's all easy. It's all good. Now, once you have that foundation, then you can start to create a marketing plan that will really attract those people. This is when your identity comes into play. Do you see what I'm saying? You can't create an identity without understanding all of this, because here's what happens, and I made this mistake for years. This is why I'm telling you right now. One of the biggest mistakes I see is that people are creating these visual identities based off of what they see other people doing. They see other more successful people or people who are further along in their journey with these brands, these visual brands, and they're like,
oh my goodness, I'm gonna be successful too if only I look like this.
And then it turns out that that visual identity is in no way, shape, or form representative of who they are. And that means that there's some incongruence in their brand, and that makes it real hard for you to connect with others. Because here's the thing, you can only keep a facade up for so long. You can only pretend to be something you're not for so long, which is why it's super important for you to tune out everything else in the world. Tune out the noise. You do not have to emulate. You do not have to copy. You don't have to plug and play your brand, and I highly advise against it. Take the time to get to know your business, get to know yourself before creating a visual identity. Now, marketing has a whole lot of facets to it. There are so many facets to marketing that it would be impossible to cover all of it in this video. But in order to market your brand in a strong way and to create that strong foundational marketing piece, you're going to network with people as yourself. Isn't that fun? You don't have to be anybody else. This means chatting with other business owners as you. This means not pretending to be something that you're not in order to fit in, because you don't have to do that. In fact, that will hold you back. If you walk away with nothing else from this video, let it be that pretending to be someone else and trying to act like you're someone that you're not will hold you back, and it will be the most unfulfilling thing in the entire world. Please don't do it. I did this for so long. On top of networking, you have to share yourself authentically with your audience. Now, I'm not telling you to overshare. You don't need to tell your audience your entire life story, but you can share the real and raw and the nitty-gritty of your life. You can share the behind the scenes. The biggest part here is sharing authentically. Being yourself. Are you starting to get some clues here that that's what this is all about? It's all about being yourself. That sounds so cliche, because that's the advice that everyone gives, like, be yourself, just be yourself, just be yourself. But in this case, it's really true. And then finally, the biggest tip in creating a strong brand that is gonna attract people is to keep showing up. Be consistent. I know that when you first start marketing your business that you might feel like you are talking to crickets. And guess what? You probably are, especially with the way the algorithms work nowadays. It is becoming incredibly difficult to be seen by our people. But the more you show up, the more consistently you are posting, the more authentic you are in your content, the more people will start to respond. It may take time, and that's okay. Just because it takes time does not mean you are failing. Friend, the moral of the story is that you can be you, and you don't need to be anybody else in order to be successful. And in order to create a strong brand that people are attracted to, you have to be completely you. You cannot be anybody else, because there is a specific set of people who can only get what they need from you and from your voice. No matter what industry you're in, no matter what product or service you're offering, there are people that are specifically for you. You don't need to make everyone happy. You don't need to meet everyone where they are. You just need to meet your people where they are. So get out there and create that strong brand, because you have the tools to do it. They're all right within you. And if you're ready to dig more into your business, go ahead and click the next video, and I will see you over there. Until next time, stay amazing. Bye.